Hey gang, this is Coach Dave with Dad Bod Soccer, and today's video analysis is going to be looking at how to play as a central midfielder in a 4-3-3 formation. And the game we're going to look at is some JV boys, so 9th and 10th graders. And the three concepts we're going to focus on today. Number one, center midfielders, trust your teammates. 2, be in the right place. 3, once you're in the right place, be patient on the ball. Always be looking at your options. So we'll go through each of those. This first one we're going to break down is really about trusting your teammates and then being in the right place. As you can see here, we're going to be watching the white team, and there's a player right here in the middle, center midfielder. And let's see how this goes. So there's throw in, red's going towards the tree. Let's see what happens. Okay, watch that center midfielder. Don't watch the ball. Finally, okay, ball goes out. But let's watch again. Okay, let's remember, we are watching this player right here. Don't watch the ball. So we start off, what is the role of a center midfielder? How about being in the middle of the field? By and large, look at the space. So you got your front three attackers here, one massive gap in between, and then a whole bunch of defenders. As a center midfielder, you are the link between the back and the front. Now, a lot of times youth players will bypass the midfield, hit long balls. That's fine, that happens. But generally speaking, we want to try to, especially when you're coming out of the back, you want to try to link with the midfield. So you're moving in these angled ways, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, as we watch, let's watch, track his running. Track his running. So he starts in a good space. As the ball moves, he starts to get sucked in. He's dropping. Oh, there it is. There it is. He was dropping, and now he's like, oop, that ball's free. And then let's see what happens. That ball's free. He gets it. And now he's, nope, back even more, back even more. Now look where he's at. Where is the space that he just vacated? Right here. Are there any white shirted players in this region? No, there are not. There's red, red, red. Why is that a problem? Well, of course, that's a problem because when the ball is won, if there's a transition, right, we win the ball, let's assume that the white team wins it here and turns around and looks, who are they going to pass to? Nobody. So they have to try to launch a ball up to one of these attacking players or that are being defended by 6 players. So 2 against 6. Here's another thing. Let's look at the eyes. What is everybody looking at? There's the ball. Well, these two are fighting for the ball. This guy's looking at the ball. This guy looking at the ball, looking at the ball, looking at the ball. Look, 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 look. Everybody's looking at the ball. Well, guess what? The ball is like the sun. If you stare at it, it'll blind you. But guess what else does? It has its own gravitational pull. The ball sucks you towards it, as you can see here. Watch. This player started out really well over here. He was starting in the middle, being that link. Nope, staring at the ball, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. But let's focus on the center midfielder. You've got to trust your teammates that they're going to win the ball, do their job as defenders. You've got to. That's not to say you shouldn't defend in the middle of the field. Of course you should. But let's do a quick count. How many players are back to defend on this play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the goalie. 7 against 3. So this player has to trust that his 7 defenders are going to be able to win this ball. Because if he doesn't, then he ends up getting sucked in, right? And then when they do win the ball, they look out here and there's no one to pass it to. Remember, center midfielders, your defenders are trusting that you will be in the right place when they win the ball so that they can play you the ball and keep possession. All that hard work they did to win it is not going to be wasted because they're going to play you the ball and you're going to be able to keep possession and advance the ball. They're trusting you to do that. Well, on the flip side, you have got to trust them that they're going to do their job. So if you look here at the end result of this play, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the players on this white team are within about 30 yards of each other, defending 4 players on the other team. It's not a good use of space. And last point, you've got to think about what's coming next. What is coming next? If we win the ball, then what? If this player here is thinking, what's coming up, what I'm anticipating. He is sliding into this space here. That's his job. Trust your teammates, center midfielders. Let defenders defend. If they're overwhelmed with numbers, of course, you got to get back and help, but generally let them do their job so that they can trust that you are going to do your job. In this clip, we're going to look at being patient on the ball. Again, we're going to be watching that same center midfielder. Here he is. We're going to be watching when he receives the ball. So the goal is over here. So they're in their attacking third, and he's going to receive the ball right here. And he's patient. He doesn't panic. He keeps control. And I want you to watch, kind of watch what he does here. Receives the ball, controls it, drives into space, cuts in front of his guy, comes back at an angle, lays the ball off for his player. Let's watch it again. So as a center midfielder, as an attacking player, you get into a position like this on the field. You might think, well, I got to dribble all the way in. You might want to be the glory guy. You might think, oh my gosh, I have so much pressure, I should get rid of it as soon as possible. Those are both things that are very common. But what I like here is that he says, I got some space and I'm confident that I can beat one player. So he beats one player. But as he does that, the red defenders are drawn to him. Okay, their eyes are all there. They're drawn to him. He's got 1, 2, 3 guys coming into his vicinity. Meanwhile, look who's open right here in the middle, this guy. And he's making this nice run into this gap, which I've talked about in other videos, right? We love to exploit that gap when you're attacking. You don't want to be making that gap when you're defending, but that's where he's going right now. And I love this because the midfielder is just patient, and then he picks his moment to lay the ball off. So let's watch it again. Cuts in front of the defender. Look at that passing channel. He plays the ball here to a guy making this really nice run into the middle. You notice as well, when he released the ball, he was under pressure from the guy he just beat. But a really nice little move here, which I want to point out, is once he got around the player, right? Once he got past the player, he cut in front of him. He didn't just try to run shoulder to shoulder with him. So he slows down, gets past him, cuts across him, and really that makes that defender irrelevant now. He's out of the play because he's behind, so long as this player continues moving. I love that. Just a little note, midfielders attacking players. If you beat a player, consider cutting on an angle right in front of him or her, and it takes them straight out of the play. It's really nice. And I just want to demonstrate a really excellent piece of skill and awareness by this center midfielder here. He's going to receive the ball under pressure. Watch where his first touch is. Okay, watch where it goes first. He gets the ball. Where's his first touch? See it? Watch it again. Which direction does he go with the ball? The defender's right on top of him. He goes away. Ah, I love it. I love it. I love it. When you're a center midfielder, especially, and you're tasked with keeping the ball moving and linking up the forwards and the defenders, one thing you need to fight is the urge to get the ball and immediately bomb forward, right? Get on your horse and just fly and try to take on as many people as you can and get forward as fast as you can. You got to fight that urge. As a center midfielder, your job is to be a thinker. Be patient on the ball. Well, one thing that helps you be patient on the ball is a little bit of extra space and time. Midfielders, learn to take touches away from defenders. Give yourself a little bit of time and space to work. Okay, here's another one about being patient on the ball. As a center midfielder, and you're getting into the attacking third here, your job is to be a thinker. And not only using your mind, but you must rely on your eyes. You're kind of constantly scanning. It's a little bit like Tesla. The Tesla autopilot works by having all these sensors that are constantly scanning the surroundings, bringing back information into the computer, and then making adjustments for where the car should be on the road. That is exactly what a center midfielder should be doing. Your eyes, your ears, your awareness are your sensors, and they are constantly scanning the field to see where should I be and where should this ball be if I have it at my feet. So we'll watch one here where the center midfielder, we're going to be watching right here, this fella here, he's going to pick up the ball. He does a really nice job of losing his defender and pushing the ball forward. But then I'm going to complain just a tiny bit, and I'll show you. Gets the ball here. This guy's pressing him. I really like this. He takes a touch into space by losing his, there it is. Now look at all this space. All this space, no pressure, no pressure. And then he passes the ball. Now, unfortunately, he tries to kind of thread the needle here. You can see this defender is tight on the white player, and each of the white players here are all marked. He tries to thread the needle. What if, as he's dribbling, here we go, here he goes. He's got into space. The defenders are retreating. They're facing this direction. So the center midfielder has the ball, and he looks up and says, okay, I have a player here. I'm going to try to thread the needle between 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. Okay? What if he took a second and he put his little radar sensors out and he looked to the left? Lo and behold, look at all of this space. Here's another thing to find on this side, or this player, wide open. So if the center midfielder can slow down, not try to force the first thing he sees, but look and say, how can I change direction? Can I change direction so that I can change the angle of attack to the ball? Right now, the angle of attack to the goal is on the right side. It's very vertical, right? It's just this way. That's where everyone's going. Can he pass or move this way to change the angle of attack? Maybe to bring in this outside back who's going to make a run into all this space. Maybe he plays it here. And now we have a guy who's not marked as opposed to these guys over here. We have a guy who's not marked, and now he can press with a 2v1 on this one defender. It all starts with being patient on the ball and understanding as a center midfielder that you've got to be scanning. Can I change the angle of my attack? Can I find the space other than where we are right now?